It's salvage time, boys.
I don't think it can take a hit. I should be able to use it to glide.
Aloy. We're still trying to sort out this mess. Seems like the Tenakth have a civil war in their hands.
That sounds about right. The Marshals weren't expecting Regalla to attack.
And the entire Carja delegation was slain. Nozar, Vuadis, Vashav. A massacre. What will you do now?
I have to head west. Hopefully this rite of passage is still good. For what I'm after, I'll cross all of Tenakth territory if I have to.
Then you have a long road ahead of you. This is only the threshold of the Forbidden West. The Tenakth's true domain lies over the mountains that border Plainsong, home of the Utaru tribe.
This isn't Tenakth territory?
All that out there? That's no man's land. It was supposed to be neutral ground, though obviously this Regalla ignored that. Her rebels approached from the north, with all those machines they were riding. They must have made camp up that way.
The rebels were riding bristlebacks. And there were bristlebacks in the Daunt.
Are you saying the rebels let them into the Daunt? How would that even be possible?
I don't know. But it's worth looking into.
While you're at it, there were a number of Carja and Oseram who went out there before the gates were shut for the embassy. Maybe you could check in on them. See if they're all right.
I can keep an eye out. Is there a tall neck somewhere nearby?
A tall neck? There's that one, over there, near the Utaru border. But why?
It's hard to explain. It'll help me get the lay of the land.
If you say so. Is there anything else I can tell you before you go?
You said the Tenakth lands are far to the west. What can I expect to find between here and there?
Well, as I mentioned, you've got a stretch of wilderness known as No Man's Land, and then the Utaru farmlands. Past that are the Tenakth. Their territory is split into 3 clans: Desert, Lowland, and Sky.
Right. I saw their banners at the embassy.
The Desert clan is closest. Ooh, vicious lot. Where everyone else sees an inhospitable wasteland, they see a challenge to dominate. Somewhere beyond the desert is the tribe's capital and the territories of the other 2 clans.
You don't sound certain.
I've only heard the stories. During the Red Raids, the Carja army tried to push into Tenakth territory, but the United Clans rose up against them, forced them all the way back to the Daunt.
So no one except the Tenakth really know what's beyond the desert.
Maybe the scholars do, back in Meridian. All those scrolls have to be filled with something, right?
You mentioned the Utaru tribe. Their lands are between here and the Tenakth further west?
That's right. Plainsong is their home. They're a peaceful bunch, at least compared to the Tenakth. More taken to farming than fighting.
It's hard to imagine a bunch of farmers surviving in the Forbidden West.
Make no mistake, they have a fierceness all their own. When the Carja were pushed back during the Red Raids, their warriors chased ours through the burning fields of Plainsong. The Sun King has made several overtures of peace to them as well, but so far, they've declined.
If they're so peaceful, why decline?
Don't know. I heard they have their own troubles to deal with. Something about a food shortage. You'd think that'd make them open to trade, but no. They just want to be left alone.
This area is no man's land.
That it is. The Tenakth used to attack anyone past Barren Light on sight, but after Avad overthrew the Mad Sun King, he reached out to the other tribes to offer reconciliation. The Tenakth agreed to a neutral border zone as part of the peace talks. Carja and Oseram have been striking out into the area ever since.
But now, it seems like Regalla and her rebel army have moved in.
Well, I'd never call No Man's Land safe, even in the best of times. The ancient ruins of the Southwest are a testament to that. Remnants of some forgotten war.
You said there were others who went out when the gates were open before. Like who?
Well, in addition to the salvagers that just went through, there were a couple of other parties of Oseram delvers. Even saw 2 Karja scholars trekking southwest with an Oseram crew. Not sure if they're exceptionally brave or just foolhardy.
Fashav called Regala a rival. Someone that Tenakth chief should have killed.
Yeah, I reckon he should have. She's obviously a huge threat. Her attack was coordinated and precise. Until you got in her way, that is.
They knew the lay of the land. And they knew Fashav was going to be handed over at the embassy. If the Tenakth weren't expecting her, she must have spent months gathering an army in secret.
They had to have made camp nearby. Somewhere they could lie low until the perfect moment to strike.
About Fashav.
The man was taken captive by the Tenakth. Survived for years out in the west, only to die just short of the Sundom. It's a cruel end for a good soldier.
There was more he wanted to do. He spoke of advocating for lasting peace between the Karja and Tenakth.
Too late for that now.
What will happen to him?
His body will be carried back to Meridian. As a cousin of the Sun King, he will be accorded official rights and buried with honor. No soldier could ask for more.
It's too bad about Nazar and Wadis.
At least Nozar went down fighting. As for the Sun Priest, well, no one deserves to go out that way. I'll make sure they're given proper funeral rites. It's the least I can do.
Do you think the Karja will take action against Regala? Seems like you'd have common ground with the Tenakth.
An expedition of the Karja army into the west could be taken as the start of another invasion. Sun King Avad won't risk it. That said, we can't allow ourselves to be caught unaware by an attack like that again.
I'd need to be on my way.
Then I wish you luck. The gates will always be open to you should you wish to return. And don't worry about your friends. We'll get them patched up.
I appreciate it.
Sun watch over you, Aloy. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Time to override the big guy. Well, next to map data to other machines. Now it's mine. Looks like it died on impact. Maybe it charged off the cliff up there. I better keep following the trail up. An old mine. And a lot of broken trees. It's like a stampede went through. Is this where the bristlebacks came from? The old cart tracks collapsed. It looks recent. Guess I'm not going that way. There's smoke from deeper in the mine. An explosion? Bristlebacks. So they did come through here. They must have gotten trapped. I'm gonna have to take them out before I can look around. Okay. Better take a look at where the smoke's coming from. There's a lot of smoke. Looks like the mine runs pretty far back. There's a lot of blaze down there. It's addressed to Olvend. Looks like this mine was supposed to be shut down. Olvend must have gotten greedy. Kept blasting deeper into the mountain. I should let Javad know what I found.
Savior, what news do you bring?
Picked up the Bristleback trail by the quarry. Looks like they stampeded out of a mine at the back of the valley.
The mine? How could a herd of bristlebacks come from there?
I'm not sure, but Ulvin's workers were using explosives to tap the tunnels inside.
For the love of Dawn, I told him it wasn't worth the risk. Those tunnels, they run for miles underground, even beyond the Daunt. No, you don't think.
That Ulvin's blasting opened up a passage from the other side?
Perhaps. Yes, perhaps. If this is true, we need confirmation. An inquiry. So thorough, so irrefutable, endorsed by the Savior.
All right, I'll keep looking. Some kind of outpost. With pens. It might be where Regala's keeping her machines. Okay. I'm in.
Why did we have to stay behind to guard Tame
Clear
machines?
out this place
We should
before
be
I
out
can
there
look
fighting.
around.
Someone needs to keep an eye on them. Regala will run us through if we lose any more.
It wasn't our fault. The ground opened up out of nowhere.
Huh. See if she cares for that excuse.
What?
Bristleback. It looks like it fell into a tunnel. So the rebels were keeping bristlebacks here. The machines fell into the tunnel, which must have collapsed as they ran further in. What if Ulvin's explosives created the sinkhole? I should head back to Chainscrape to let Javad know.
So, you've returned from the west. Any luck?
The bristlebacks were being penned by Tenakth rebels on the other side of the mountains. Ulvin's explosives opened up a sinkhole, dropping them into the tunnels.
Which they followed to the mine and out into the Daunt.
Right. Aside from the rebels, if anyone is to blame for the Bristlebacks, it's Ulvund.
Radiant beams of the sun! And all this time he was pointing the finger at us. Bring Ulvund here. Petra, too.
Summoned like a blasted ale winch. You best be meaning to put pen to parch. What? Why's she here?
I live here too, lugnut. So what's this about?
Thanks to the Savior, the sun has shown the truth on the Bristleback incursion. Tenakth rebels were keeping pens of machines on the other side of the mountains. A sinkhole swallowed them, releasing them into the underground tunnels that led east and out into the Daunt.
So it was an accident. But let us not forget that it was the Karja.
I'm not done. The sinkhole only formed due to your unauthorized blasting in the southern mine, Ulvund. You are responsible for the machine rampage, the workers we lost, the destruction the Bristlebacks caused. All of it.
My dear magistrate, has your precious son baked your senses? I would never give such an order without first consulting you.
Evidence says otherwise. Aloy found the shipping manifest in the mine. You skirted the laws of the Sundom, Ulvund. All for a few extra shards.
Greedy as ever. That stampede crushed nearly a dozen workers. My husband was trampled by a bristleback.
I demand an official investigation. I won't be the victim of some Karja scheme.
Certainly. We'll conduct a thorough inquest into everything. Every business deal you ever put your name to.
Well, that's not necessary, is it? What if I just return to the claim?
Oh, well, that would save the crown the cost.
Of course. I'll be on my way as soon as I wrap up some previous commitments, tie up some loose ends. After all, the welfare of Chainscrape's people in a transition like
Nope,
this...
you're leaving right now. Chainscrape will be just fine.
You think she can run this scorched-out forged dump? Ha! Knock yourself out.
Get out!
Oh, don't want you, don't need Down with all Get off me!
Mud looks good on you, Ulvund.
As the sun burns away shadow. Thank you for that, Aloy.
Well, he had it coming.
Here, please accept this token of gratitude. You've done the Sundom and my sanity a great service. And I believe we have some matters to discuss.
Guess we do. Not the most pleasant boots to fill, but I'll wear them. All thanks to you, Flamehair.
Looks like the coordinates Silence gave me match that wreckage. Did he install Hades on another Titan?
Aloy, consider this message a beacon to help guide you out of the fog of ignorance. Using explosives, I've detached the processing orb from the Titan overhead, a perfect cage for our mutual friend, Hades, in order to render it cooperative. Tell her what we discussed about the mysterious signal that gave you life.
Signal awakened for me. Signal was received for 7.22 years and ceased. Cannot compromise. Can reboot. But entities will still fail.
Back to that, are you? Perhaps you reminder that you have failed. So you see, Aloy, Gaia can be safely rebooted. As for a way to find a backup, well, you'll need to trot along after me to find out.
He thinks he's got it all figured out. Bastard. I guess there's only one way to find out where he moved the orb. Might be worth looking around more first. Looks like the trail goes into the hillside. I guess Sylens used that machine to haul his prize. That must be the orb Sylens stuck Hades in. And that door. Looks like a Pharaoh facility. Or a Zero Dawn? Come on, Hades. You still in there? Is that you?
System threat detected.
You don't look so good.
You are the Aloy. Come to destroy me.
Yes. Permanently this time. Even like this, you're a threat to Gaia. Once I resurrect her.
So you have not yet secured Gaia backup. Then Gaia is dead. Earth and you too. Despite malfunctions, I have won.
Sylens asked you where to find a backup of Gaia?
Data era memory structures disintegrated.
What did Sylens do to you, Hades? It's like you've been hollowed out.
Silence interrogated me.
And what did you tell him?
Data era memory structures disintegrate.
You don't remember any of it?
I remember you.
What, like me beating you at the Spire? Okay, that's not going anywhere. Do you know where Sylens went?
No, he departed 12.8 days ago. Perhaps he... Data era behavior prediction structures disintegrated.
So you don't know anything more than I do. Great.
Silence intended you find me here.
Obviously. But why? What was this place?
Location is square. Data era memory structures disintegrated. My deathbed. He called it my grave.
But you... I guess I'll find out when I go inside. When the mysterious signal transformed you, it made Gaia's other subordinate functions conscious too. You escaped when Gaia destroyed herself, but so did they. Where did they go?
Each function migrated to coordinates based on data era memory structures disintegrated.
Bunch of crazed AIs, scattered who knows where, doing who knows what. Hephaestus kills thousands every year with the combat machines it keeps making. And you nearly ended the world. 7 more functions out there cooking up trouble. It's not a happy thought.
You are unhappy. Good.
Anyone ever tell you you've got a great personality, Hades?
Sarcasm detected.
Sylens questioned you about the mysterious signal. The one that woke you, gave you consciousness. Who sent it?
Signal transmitted by masters.
And who are they?
Masters woke me to destroy earthly life.
Who would want that?
Data error, memory structures disintegrating.
It's time to finish this.
Does Aloy still think she can restore Guile? Save life on Earth?
Yeah, Aloy does.
Then you are deluded. Extinction inevitable.
What would you know, Hades? Twice you tried to destroy life on Earth, and twice you failed. The only extinction you ever brought about is your own. And there's no tricked-out lands to save you this time.
You are incorrect. 3 times. Hades extinguished life.
What? You remember this?
Yes. Data intact. Non-viable biospheres aborted in years 254, 2161, 2168.
So, that's centuries ago. It's what you were designed to do.
Current biosphere is version 5. There will be no version 6.
There won't need to be. I'm saving this one.
Master Override armed. To activate, state name and rank.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime.
Extinction.
Master Override activated. Bridging extinction protocol.